Well, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Inuit's Igloo,
Are,
maybe?
are we in an igloo?
Yeah, it's very cozy, don't you think?
Okay.
Okay, so you guys know me, Inua, and I'm here with let's call him Diedrich. Hello,
Yeah.
Diedrich.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
Diedrich, before we get into it, he's drinking a beer. Do you want to tell us what beer you're drinking?
I'm drinking the three-notched Killer Angel Double IPA.
Limited release, I see.
Yeah, I think it's a seasonal.
It's from Charlottesville. Oh no, it's from Charlottesville, Virginia. Got some Chris Chan action
What's
going
wrong with
on.
that? Well, there's a lot of alcohol in it.
You need to. Gotta keep that place sanitary somehow from our beloved Chris Chan. I am not drinking beer. I'm drinking Essentia water. It's my favorite bottled water. That's fascinating. So you might be thinking, what is this? A podcast from Inua? Say what? It's like I'm kind of there with you. I don't listen to podcasts, but you do.
Well, I don't have an iPod. I've never had an iPod. But it's just a strange name that kind of stuck to this concept of recording audio and
Is that
talking about it.
is that where the name came from? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I believe so.
Huh. Well, you listen to a lot of podcasts, though.
Yes.
Do you have any favorites?
Um. Well, I used to listen to a lot of technical ones, but those got boring, and the technical people are not very well. They're not very clear always.
Are those the ones that sound like a bunch of soy boys that you were listening to all the time that I hated?
I don't think so. I think those were nerds.
Yeah, what are those nerdy ones that I really didn't
Um,
like?
well, I
They had
listened.
like the token girl talking, and she's like so annoying. And
Oh, oh yeah. I stopped listening to them. It was like Katie and Ben. I was like, I forget, but it was this. The girl is from Civis Analytics, which is the firm that did the Obama campaign way back when, and that I guess that's their continues to be their claim to fame. Um,
whoop de doo.
but yeah, every one of their podcasts was like, "Hi, Katie. Hi, Ben," and then it was really um, reminds me of those old SNL skits where
The NPR
the
ones?
NPR ones, the sweaty balls.
I really like those. We can get, you know what? I do want to talk about SNL later, but first, the podcast you actually listen to. I know you listen to Joe Rogan, which I also do not enjoy, but you enjoy Joe Rogan. It's a very manly podcast.
Yeah, well, he has a wide variety of interests, um, and I don't know the one of the common topics in his podcast is that his podcast is a long form podcast, and thus is a better way to get to know people and listen to people. So I think some of the appeal is that you kind of just get to know him and his guests after a while. He does repeat his guests, and he kind of
Not Alex Jones. He won't have Alex Jones back. The bastard.
he won't. Well, I don't know.
No,
if
he said he won't touch him anymore because of the controversy.
I don't believe that. I haven't
I,
heard him
I,
say
I
that.
thought he said that.
No,
I thought I had read that he said that.
he's been he says that he's been friends with Alex Jones since the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to go partying together, and
But he,
they're good friends.
something with advertisers, like you can't have him on again.
Well, he doesn't really have mainstream, what I would consider mainstream advertisers. He's just got
No underwear, no sheets.
The typical podcast advertisers, which are
Audible,
are these direct-to-consumer companies like the
Blinds,
the MeUndies.
Yeah, MeUndies. Everyone does the underwear
with the micromodal fabric, and
but you've not bought any.
I have
bought any.
No. I haven't heard the sheets one in a while. Which is what, Bowl and Branch or whatever.
Yeah.
Which they sent them to presidents or something so that they could say that presidents have their sheets, but
no evidence that they've used them.
Yeah.
So you listen to Joe Rogan, and we used to listen to Alex Jones pretty much until after the. I just found some embroidery thread on me. Until after the last presidential election, and then not quite as much, and then it just petered out. But I liked Alex Jones's radio show.
Yeah, well, you said it's a radio show, so primarily, you think of it as a radio show.
Yeah, I like radio shows. That's all I listen to.
I was listening to it in podcast form, just because it was convenient. But
to segue before, I just want to say real quick. Sorry to interrupt you. But that's what I listen to. I listen to radio shows, but I listen to old radio shows. Like, I'll put the news on sometime, like current news, obviously. But I listen to, like, Dragnet, Suspense, Gunsmoke, et cetera, Inner Sanctum. I don't listen to podcasts. That's what I listen to. But go ahead. I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Right. Now that we've established that you're better than everybody.
Yep.
Because you only listen to radio from the 50s.
Jack Webb and I, we have the same morals. We're like the exact same. He's like me in male form, except he also smokes. I used to want to be a cop, too, when I was younger. Cops was my favorite show.
I don't see.
Can you picture me as a cop?
No.
No, it's
I don't see the appeal
of being a cop.
Yeah, I mean it's an important profession in society, but I wouldn't want to do it.
But my sense of justice. You always say I have such a strong sense of justice.
Yes. Well, why don't we go back to Alex Jones?
Alex Jones or other podcasts you listen to?
Well, so Alex Jones, I really view him as he kind of weaves in current events with his storytelling abilities, and so he's creating on the fly this like streaming live action soap opera where he sort of invents his alternate reality.
No, he's always right though.
Where he creates like new conspiracy theories every day that combine.
But they're all true.
I'm sure they are, but it's entertaining to listen to, at any rate.
Yeah. Roger Stone's a hoot. He sure looks funny though.
He's not the one. Who's
Roger
the one that
Stone
died recently?
No.
Oh, that was the Fox News guy.
Yeah. Roger Stone's the one that looks like leather that has been stretched onto like a mannequin face. He's Trump's friend. Anyway, you listen to keto podcasts.
Yes, there's a bunch of keto podcasts.
You've been doing the keto diet for 2 years now.
Yep. And what seems to happen after you get the initial benefits is it sort of wanes. So
you have a lot more energy than you used to.
Yeah. Probably helped.
So what are some of the ones you listen to, in case anyone wants to listen to a ketogenic podcast?
Well, I mean, I don't think that any of them are particularly...
Don't they help with
cool.
Motivation?
They're good with... Yeah, I mean, that's partly why I listen to them. But they all have, like, some weird aspects to them. So there's two keto dudes, which...
that's the name. Keto.
That's the name, and that's how the two hosts refer to themselves, but it's kind of goofy. In some regards, there's aspects to the format that are a little weird. Every show, they kind of have a spiel, a 30-second or longer spiel that they kind of say their backstories. Like they're both we're suffering from type 2 diabetes complications, and they reversed most of the symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say they're cured, but they reversed all the symptoms, and they don't have to take any insulin to treat it anymore. But so they repeat that every show, which is
different
I guess,
people.
No, the two keto dudes.
Oh, they just say their own stuff. Oh,
They-
I thought they
yeah.
brought people on.
No, they have a fixed spiel that they repeat every show, and so they say that, and then they say, were there any corrections from the last show? And sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. And then after that, they go into the next part, which is let's revisit what a ketogenic diet is, and then they repeat a fixed spiel that they have for describing the ketogenic diet.
Yeah, it sounds a little boring.
And then they go
Fast forward.
Then they go into every segment, and the show's has rigid segments. And I don't think you really need to have fixed segments, but I guess it helps them think about how to structure, plan their podcasts.
Where
But,
to put the ads in and
stuff like that. I don't remember where their
don't you?
ads are, but they have a mail section, and then they do this really dumb. Well, they have several sections where they, in between them, they kind of do the same shtick every time, where it's like, okay, before the mail section, they yell mail really loudly, and
That sounds pretty Reddit.
the one guy laughs about it every show. He laughs about it. We're at 80 some shows, and he's still laughing about yelling mail. And then they do almost the same thing when they're explaining the ketogenic diet. When they say fat, they say, instead of just saying fat, you get most of your calories from fat, they say fat.
Like an echo effect?
No, they just say it like it's really good.
I wonder if I can do an echo effect. Can you do echo effect on Audacity?
Yeah.
Because you can
You
use
should
it
be
when
able
you
to.
say the juice. It's a
Orange
thing that's
juice? OJ?
yeah.
The juice?
Yeah, there was this the juice. There is this oh gosh, was it True Capitalist Radio? I don't know. When someone mentions the juice, they do the echo effect because of the parentheses things, because that's how you know. The Jews like to put, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be getting into this. They like to put parentheses now around their Twitter names. Just anyway, that's a whole nother thing, and I'm probably saying it wrong. I don't really want to talk about podcasts too more. So if you have any you want to list, just name them off and say one line why you like them.
Well, Jimmy Moore is another keto guy, but he's also really hokey. He's got a terrible sense of humor. His sense of humor kind of reminds me of youth pastor type of guy. Those are the main ones that I listen to regularly.
I would recommend, though we don't listen to anymore, but Dave Ramsey. I would recommend that to any young adult or any older adult or anyone. Especially DSP. I recommend it highly. DSP, if you're listening, listen to Dave Ramsey. Get your life together. He's a financial guy, and he helps people how to get out of debt, and he gives the financial advice, and it's really great for stuff like that.
Yeah, his show is also very repetitive.
Yeah,
and it's definitely the same segments over and over, the same types of content.
Yeah. It is kind of wild, though. He has a YouTube channel, and they'll upload, highlight clips and stuff. And, some of these people, they're really dumb with money. Maybe even dumber than DSP with money.
Yeah. He's got a wide audience. He can draw the dumbest of the dumb. Get the most salacious stories.
Yeah.
examples of people doing really stupid things with money.
It is pretty interesting. It was fun to listen to for a couple weeks.
Yeah, you start to get a feel for exactly what he's going to say in response to anybody's questions.
Mm-hmm. So if we're done with podcasts, I mentioned before we mentioned SNL and like the NPR skit and all that, and that reminded me that I've been thinking about SNL lately, and it's like, when is the last time they were really quotable? Because remember when SNL was very much in the pop culture, not just like kind of copy off of pop culture, and it would create all these lines and stuff and skits that everyone still remember, back off me, I'm starving, and Night of the Roxbury kind of thing, and like King Tut, Steve Martin, like everyone still remembers that. Everyone can still quote it, but the last thing I can really remember that people quoting was like, what was it called, Lonely Island? The music they would do, they did like the Chronicles of Narnia.
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg, yeah, his music group. That's like the last quotable thing. Like no one quotes
That's
SNL
still
anymore.
Quite a while ago.
I know, it was like over a decade ago.
Years, yeah. So, well, we haven't asked any 12-year-olds. Somebody's got to be watching.
I don't know who's watching it. I don't think anyone's watching. They just watch the clips on YouTube and the ones bashing Trump, and they're like, I'm going to share this on my Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know even what the cast members are anymore.
I know that Keenan, I think he's still on it. And remember when he first came on, we said he's not going to last more than a season because he's so unfunny, and he's still on it. Cal was always the funnier one, in my opinion.
A lot of the side character people end up staying there for a long time just because they don't have an out. They're just kind of a permanent cast member. They can't get like land big movie roles or whatever.
Kristen Wiig was funny.
Yeah.
But even then, that was like so long ago. Like I don't even know. Like I know there's that one guy. I don't even know his name. And he dates Ariana Grande, or he did, and he looks like really sick looking. And he made fun of that politician who has one eye, and he was like a complete asshole. And it's like, they're not even funny. You know who's funny? Norm Macdonald.
He was on SNL.
Yep. He was really funny. Norm Macdonald. And he had a podcast for a while. I think he had to stop it because he has a show on Netflix now.
Oh, he doesn't do his show anymore?
No.
Oh.
It's a shame.
Well, I'm not sure that Norm. I think Norm's kind of hit or miss. It's good to get the highlights, but
I love his dry humor.
When I listen to him, I can't help but think that I'm the butt of his jokes or something. Because it's.
Yeah, I love it. It makes me feel inferior, and I'm so turned on.
Okay. His best bits from Saturday Night Live were the Celebrity Jeopardy stuff.
Right? Oh, you think so? The Alex Trebek?
I can't remember what else he did.
He was mostly a writer, but yeah, he did Weekend Update.
Oh yeah, yeah. He always did the sexist jokes.
Yeah. They're funny.
Yeah, his part of his spiel is when he's telling a joke would be to like say like just a really obvious thing.
Non-jokes. They're like non-jokes a lot of the time. Who's that guy? Jimmy Fallon. Hate him. Now he has that. What do you call it? Late night talk show, and he just like laughs his head off at any celebrity kissing their ass. And there's like funny videos of him just like slapping his desk. And I didn't even like him when he was on SNL because he would always laugh. Like he wouldn't even try to hold back because oh there he goes again. Oh, he's laughing at their own jokes. Yeah, I hate him.
I always got the feeling he was like a big pothead from his SNL days,
well,
but
probably.
now he's more of a he's got that image toned down. It's more of a wide mainstream appeal.
Remember when Will Ferrell used to be funny?
Yeah, remember when he did those videos with his daughter when she was like 4?
I think
Or
that
younger.
was his friend's daughter.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rose?
Pearl. Yes, it was on Funny or Die. Oh, so funny. I did a stream before, and I watched a clip. It was like one of those Emily's Away games, and I watched a clip from that on stream, and my whole stream got like, it was like the whole thing was muted. They claimed it all, and it was like it couldn't show anywhere. Funny or Die is like, they're really I'm hitting my fist into my hand. They're strict about that.
They have a legal department.
Any little thing, they don't care. Even though it was a reaction, they didn't care. I don't even watch a lot of I don't even watch a lot of comedy anymore.
Yeah, it's been a while. Joe Rogan always talks about how serious it is being a comedian, and a lot of his guests are comedians. That's one of the themes of his show. He's got he cycles through different topics. Some of it is nutrition related. Some of it is about hunting, and some of it's about sort of extreme endurance athletes. He had a guy that was running 300 miles, 300-mile marathons, those sorts of people. But the comedian thing is a good solid chunk of the guests that he brings.
That's because
on.
he did comedy.
Well, he still does comedy.
But they're always saying how comedy's terrible now because everyone gets offended and.
Well, yeah, they sort of bring that up as it makes things interesting as far as being able to tell jokes. They claim that they're not censored. They don't feel censored by it or anything. But who knows?
Yeah, I can't even watch stand-up or anything anymore. It's like the last stand-up I watched was something from like years and years ago by TJ Miller, and then look how he turned out. He's freaking insane. That TJ Miller.
Why?
I don't know if you heard. Well, he's really really big SJW, but he also he had called in a fake bomb threat to some people or something like that on a train.
Okay, that's not cool.
No, he's weird, and he likes modern art because I followed his Instagram for a while, and his Twitter, and all he does is he and his wife or whatever, they go to modern art museums, and that's how you know something's wrong. Because if you like modern art, a little messed up. He did reply to a couple of my he favorited a couple of my tweets I did about him before he went insane.
Oh.
Wow. But yeah, we I keep getting ahead of myself. We watched Silicon Valley for what was it, 2-3 seasons?
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't really.
He was okay the first.
He wasn't I don't think he was really leading the show. He was just kind of an extra comedy element. He wasn't really the driving force on the show, I don't think.
Season 1 was the best.
That one guy was the best. I forget
the guy that died, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a different guy. He was the best. The guy that died. The boss guy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now. There was that one character, the tall guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Jared. Jared's the guy I was trying to think of.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah, he was.
Towards the end there, he was getting a little.
Yeah,
they were all so caricature-y.
He was carrying the show for a while, and then they sort of kind of focused on him because they recognized that he was actually the only one that was funny left.
Yeah, because the main character, I know he's supposed to be the straight man, but oh my gosh, so annoying and so horrible to look at.
He's not supposed to be the straight man. He's supposed to be
He's kind of the straight man.
He's supposed to be a spurg.
You're the one he's supposed to be the one you identify yourself with, right? That's what I took it as.
I think with a show like this, it's hard to identify with anybody.
You really enjoyed it at first, being into computers and stuff,
Yeah.
and seeing what Silicon Valley, the actual place, I mean, is now. Whew, lad. But that's a whole nother discussion for another day. Maybe we'll touch on that
Yeah.
next time.
Well, real tech stuff isn't very interesting, so they sort of had to spice it up, I guess.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And it lost its appeal, lost its novelty as a show concept, I guess.
Well, did you have fun
With what?
with our little talk? With hanging out in my igloo?
Oh yeah, it's starting to melt. I think you should put some more ice up on the walls.
It's because you're full of hot air.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
I think
You
you
see
should-
me slapping my knee?
I think maybe you should watch some more stand-up comedy.
No,
For
I
reference.
can't stand it. All right.
Dane
Well,
Cook, there's a good reference for you.
now you're going to make you not stop the podcast because it's going to be like everyone in high school, like, I don't know if it was my junior or senior, everyone was getting that CD of his. I don't even remember what it was called, but everyone had it. I sure as heck didn't.
I don't know. I just know it's terrible.
One of his stand-up CDs. He was really popular back in like 2004, 2005. Okay. Maybe that's another thing we could talk about another time. I also want to talk about Elon Musk sometime with you. Maybe. I don't know. Great, like, modern innovators? Or
I
are
don't-
they so great? We could talk about that.
Yeah,
But
I don't know about Elon. He's a weird guy.
Well, we're going to get into that another time. All right. So this is, okay, goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.